barter is warranted. I think I have something you will like. Let's find out.
Give a little joy. Get a little joy.
Just gonna take a minute here.
Speak to me not of the darkness. I want no part.
If we're gonna stay here, we should be building more ships. That's all I'm saying. I can definitely fix this.
We should forget about fighting them on the ground. Go for their supply lines.
Gotta be a better way.
I never thought I'd live to see the darkness return.
Let's see.
I must admit, Guardian, I'm very curious to see what you've got for me to crack open.
Feels a bit strange being back on this side of the comms, just like the good old days. Now, last transmission I got from Crow was just before you showed up.
You said he and Glint were scouting ahead.
Right. He called in some sort of anomaly, said he'd sniff around the perimeter. Personally, I prefer a little more direct approach. I ever tell you about the Hunter Vanguard before me? His name was Andal Brask. He was my mentor. Great shot. Terrible gambler. Still, we had this friendly little wager about what was inside the Traveler. I told him there's nothing. So of course Andal says, well then I'm betting on everything. everything. Lucky guess. The inside is a composite of the outside. You're gonna see some things you recognize and some things you don't. Treat it all as real. Unless it ain't. But I can guarantee you the Shadow Legion up ahead are as real as they come.
Bird from our vision. That can't be a coincidence. Let's follow it.
Kate, is that you? Glint, where's the damn kid? I've been trying to reach you both on comms for hours. Gone. The hell do you mean, gone?
The anomaly we were investigating, it's a construct of darkness, I think. A cave mouth. Wrong, like it doesn't belong here. I begged him not to go inside, but you know how he is. I tried to follow, I did. That barrier, this place, the cave, it's impossible for me to push past it all.
Stay where you are. We'll find a way through.
help us control that barrier between us and Crow.
Cade, any ideas?
Oh, I was never good at puzzles. Was always more Ikora's thing.
I think those taken scions might share a connection with that dial. That's it! Do you see any other dials in the area?
Affirmative. But Guardian will handle it.
Please hurry, Guardian. Crow has no one to raise him if he falls.
Glint, this ain't your fault.
He's my Guardian. My responsibility.
And you're his. I know you want eyes on him, but you need to stay out of sight until help gets there.
Cade, what do you make of that bird that led us to Glint?
Well, it seems pretty obvious to me. I think it's pretty obvious to you, too. The real mystery is why nobody... Mess it up, Guardian! You're through! I'm coming with you. No, Glint, you hold. The Guardian will give us the all clear.
This must be it. Glint's right. This feels cancerous. Like a blight. But it's different somehow. What is this? decision. Guardian,
You were thrust into
an unending life of certitude. It's in my mind, trying to tear me apart. Let us free you from this architect of your enslavement. No! I did it. I fought it off. Shut it out.
No matter. Our voice will suffice.
That diorama.
It is but a facsimile, a testament to loyalty, an expression of longing.
Crow. We see his heart held in talons. We hear it beat with his twin sister's squeal.
Within the final shape, we offered a vision
Of her bride. Of yours. Friends.
looking to him with trust. But, like you, he chose pain.
You used the darkness to exploit Crow's memories?
And the light to give them form. Don't you see how beautiful it all could be? We offered to erase Prince Baldwin's stain from the Dreaming City, to grant Crow dominion of the Reef, the Awoken, and all the stars beyond. But he chose pain. Crow believes he is resisting temptation. As do you. But material is immaterial. Only purpose can cure his heart. And he believes his capacity for pain is that purpose. It is why he subjects himself so completely to your traveler. This belief was taught, conditioned into you. It can be unlearned.
There. Up ahead. Stop listening to it!
I told you to wait outside. This place is... I don't know what kind of effect it's going to have on you.
He's right, Glint. I don't care. He doesn't get to make those decisions for me. We're supposed to be a team. Guardian and Ghost. That's how the Traveler made us.
I'm sorry.
Don't ever leave me behind again. Promise.
I promise.
Let's set up camp outside. Kate's not far.
Of course he isn't. Tell me you got the drop on him at least.
You and the Guardian both need better boots.
Well, maybe I'll get lucky this time. It's hard to describe. It's like these pockets of darkness are physical manifestations of the Witness's presence here. An infection, festering.
You said it spoke to you.
In the dark. Tempting me. The Witness knows what's in our hearts and minds. It promises to make it all real. Listen, whatever the Witness is doing to the Traveler, our ghosts can feel it too. And it's spreading. Ikora would know what to do.
Don't worry, kid. We'll find her. Even if we have to blast our way through.
I don't think it's that simple.
Sometimes it can be. Let's just get our bearings again. Refocus.
Agreed.
What a relief to see Crow and Glint again. That cave we found him in, where the Witness tried to possess me. A malignant place like that inside the Traveler feels blasphemous. That wasn't just darkness. It was reshaped by the Witness, corrupted. No wonder it could project itself there. At least out here, the Traveler's light still protects us. As much as it can, anyway. My shell? Don't worry. It's not as bad as it looks. The Witness barely left a crack. We take hits and we get back up again. Right, Guardian? Listen, the others spotted a location nearby that resembles the Io Cradle. Sounds like something that would be of interest to a warlock we know. That's the helm signal. Mara, we can barely hear you. I'll try to boost the connection.
Crow? Does this reach you?
She can't hear us. I'll keep trying to clean up the signal.
The portal remains unstable, and your enemy has barred the way behind you. The abominations you encountered are of the Witness's making. This is but a fraction of the power it now wields. Using stolen light, it has created a new army in opposition to the one the Traveler raised. Stewards of the final shape. No matter. The Coalition convenes to devise a method of dispelling the Witness's interference. Keitel and Mithrax have promising theories. Once this desperate attempt to slow us is left broken, we will rejoin the attack. Let my voice send you now, in flight to strike down the Witness and all its followers. Go with hope and with vengeance.
I came across some wreckage when I was scouting earlier. Dismissed it as another anomaly until Ghost described Ikora's ship.
No one was inside. So she's alive. We just have to find her.
Yeah, and that's always easier said than done.
I'm sending you some coordinates. You're on the lookout for something that resembles the cradle on Io. We'll start there.
We're not the only ones looking for Ikora.
The Hive already bothering you?
We can handle them.
Well, go right ahead. I'll be here for moral support.
Concentrated darkness.
The least we can do is put it to good use.
Witnesses abominations. Careful, Guardian.
Up on the coordinates of that wreckage. Any sign of Ikora? Or her ghost?
Nothing yet.
Ikora abandoned her ship. Maybe she found something.
Maybe so, but going it alone isn't worth the risk. I learned that the hard way.
Luckily, she's got the 2 sharpest hunters in the system to back her up.
Oh, yeah. And when do they get here?
That shield creates concentrated light. You can use it to power those wells.
Where light rises, darkness recedes.
Sounds like you've been reading Ikora's field journals.
I always try to learn from the best.
More hive ahead. Eyes up.
Xivu Arath's followers again. Of course they'd answered the witness's call.
Well, I'm glad somebody's been paying attention. Me, I see 3 glowing green eyes. I opened fire, and then apologize to Eris later.
So, using both light and dark energy is what brought down that barrier.
Mara often spoke of the balance of light and dark. We Awoken were made in conflict. Our connection to darkness is as ingrained as our connection to light. Not all Guardians are Awoken, but it does feel like we all share that conflict.
This is definitely Ikora's ship. Let's take a closer look.
Commander, Guardian, I hope you are both safe, and that you found Crow. I haven't been able to raise you on comm, so I cannot be certain. You know I am not one to be moved without evidence. How did you put it, Zavala? Scientific obstinance. But there is an uncanny sanctity to this place. I feel an impulse. I seek to commune with the Traveler myself. I sense if I reach out, that it will reach back. If not here, where? Find me. I'll be at the cradle. It's just how I remember it.
Stay sharp. I'm picking up a reading very similar to something Crow and I ran into shortly after we arrived. What, another charming gunslinger with roguish good looks?
A hive ogre. But it definitely has your humility.
We've got it on the run. Crow, how did you manage to avoid it earlier?
Avoid it? Glint, how many times did you revive me? 5? 6?
12. But who's counting? Not bad. Can't be efficient, be persistent.
light. It's creating a path forward. Guardian, I'm
sure she's fine.
Hey, when we find Ikora, if she's... Oh, that's good. Great. But not really what I'm worried about. I was gonna ask if you think...
For what?
I made a promise, then I broke it. I died.
Get ready, Guardian. The Witness's forces are heading your way.
We found Ikora. She's deep in meditation.
if Ikora zenned out, she might actually get some answers from the Traveler.
Thank you, Guardian. I thought that maybe here, maybe the Traveler might give me some sort of guidance, as it once did for the Speaker. I closed my eyes and I opened my heart and mind. I think... screaming.
So did we, when we came through the portal.
This place.
We know.
The witness infecting the Traveler. Darkness combined with light. I wish Osiris could see it. He was always ready with a hypothesis. But here's mine. The witness brought darkness into the Traveler. Everything you see here is a physical manifestation of a thought made real by the light. Your thoughts, mine, the witness's. It plans to weaponize that light, reshaping reality outside the Traveler into a perfect stillness. A great silence, never changing, never dying. Imagine your greatest triumph, or your most profound regret, immortalized as a part where nothing exists except by the witness's consent. It chooses what your eternity will be, and imprisons you safely inside it. This is its promised salvation. This is the final shape. The witness sees itself as the god it wishes the Traveler was. And although the Traveler resists the witness's corruption, it and everything we know will eventually succumb. I always warn Zavala not to put all his faith in the Traveler, to save some for the rest of us. But maybe faith in the Traveler is exactly what we need. If light is powerful enough to destroy the universe, then light is powerful enough to destroy the witness. Come back safe. So, is there anyone else with you? Not Commander Zavala, I assume. This isn't quite up to his standards.
Hey. I did my best, all right? Given the circumstances, I think Big Blue will forgive me. Will you?
No. It's too much. It's just too much. It's one thing for the witness to look in our hearts and minds, to conjure up our memories, but this...
Ikora, come on, look at me.
I see you.
I know this is hard. It's tough for me, too.
Tough? What do you know about tough? You were always running off to play renegade, leaving me and Zavala to shoulder all the responsibility when we were supposed to be a team.
I know. I'm gonna make it up to you.
All right.
I know you like me.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You still have a lot to make up.
Well then, we better get started.
Ikora has always had a strong connection to the Traveler. I think that's why she's so confident. Why she's never needed the faith Zavala has. She hasn't sought guidance like this for a long time. But this place makes you reassess what faith means to you. Ikora said our memories reshape the landscape, like the Ascended Plane. But here it's pure. It's not a recreation, it's a reimagining. That's why the Witness is here. It wants to weaponize the Traveler and transform the universe into a fixed state based on what it believes we deserve. The Witness thinks purpose is a static idea. Its promised salvation is a perfect ending it chooses for us. That sounds more like obsession to me. You can't bottle life. You can't pin its subtleties in place. It's wild and variable, imperfect. Like the light, it shines out in all directions, shadows and all. Commander Zavala would agree. Come on, Guardian. We've got a fire team to reunite.
Scans are conclusive. Your body is a construct of light, even if you aren't able to wield it as a weapon.
Well, I guess I need my ghost to do that.
Yes, but still, this is nothing short of a miracle. A miracle that could only be made possible here, in this impossible place.
You sound like Zavala. Next you'll be saying that the Traveler brought me back for a reason.
It did.
Ikora.
Give me a better explanation then.
I don't have one. All I got is my hand cannon. No golden gun. No ghost.
Can I ask you something deeply personal?
Shoot.
What did you see when you died your final death?
No, that ain't fair.
No, it isn't.
Light. So bright it burned me all the way up, but I didn't feel any heat. Not a lick. I didn't feel anything, actually. Not with my body, because I left that back there. These anatonautes might call it being one with the Traveler, but I call it home. No pain. No fear. No Vanguard paperwork. That's heaven.
And Sundance?
Oh, she was shining there, too. You want to know a secret? I miss it. Even more than I miss you.
So which one of us gets to play commander till we find Zavala?
I'd have liked to see you try, but the Guardian will take point.
House Salvation. They really believe this much in the Witness's plan?
The Witness is offering them exactly what they want. An end to suffering. That seal is pyramid technology. The Witness's forces are likely nearby.
Let's see if we can get the jump on them. Maybe they have a key.
That statue.
We've seen these before. On the moon, Europa, the Black Garden. It shouldn't be here.
Not to change the subject, but I finally got a Vanguard signal. You're welcome.
Zavala needs to be our priority. Pass the telemetry through.
it's like to terraform planets, to seed life, while the Witness uses it to reshape this world in its own image.
Hey, did Zavala have anything nice to say about me at my funeral? He always gave the best eulogies.
No, not a word.
Seriously?
He wasn't there. Wouldn't come out of his office.
I get it. Sometimes grief's a locked door.
Not grief. Shame.
House Salvation again, right on top of us.
Go get him.
fragile by his doubts. Push him to fight the inevitable, and he will break. Let us lift the weight of suffering from his shoulders. Zavala cultivates her life from the shape of loss. Costs rendered in service to your traveler. His reward is silence. His God has nothing to give. When Fallen took his son's life, the Traveler would not return it. But we can. With its light, we can do anything. And we ask for nothing in exchange.
He said no.
At last, his ghost speaks.
Guardian, do you read us? I'm en route. Give Taj all the help you can. This is where he lived with his wife and son, isn't it?
We were defending it from the Fallen. The Witness wants to wear him down to nothing, but he's still standing strong. Too stubborn to retreat.
The Fallen will not defile my family's memory. Guardian, honor them with me. Defend my homestead.
think that's the last of them.
There are always more.
Guardian, thank you. Just give me a moment. I need to say goodbye. I used to think I'd give anything to bring you back. But when the Witness offered me an eternity here with you, with our son, I know you understand why I refused. There are people who still need me. Soon. Safi, I'm sorry.
Eyes up, Commander.
It's a lie. The Witness shows us what it thinks we want.
And what has the Traveler shown me?
We should go.
I know. I loved them too.
I don't know how you're here, but...
Yeah, me too, big guy. Me too.
And I thought we lost her when her ship went down. But she's tougher than that. She soldiered on. She...
Losing Amanda was like losing you all over again. I'm done. burying my friends.
Life isn't about holding on forever. I mean, I was gone, mourned, at peace, and now I'm here, opening old wounds, filling them with salt. And eventually, you have to let go.
Coming together was hard for everyone. I thought it would feel right having the Vanguard back together, but Tarj told me that Zavala had forgiven himself for what happened to his family, but the witness made him relive losing them. And it showed him what it would be like to have them back. It must have taken everything for the commander to refuse that offer. Ikora has concerns about his mental state. She's going to check in with him while the rest of us push closer to the witness's monolith. Time to do some trailblazing, Guardian.
Hey kid, you out there? Look, you could ignore me if you want. I would, but you should know I'll hold it against you. Come on, Zavala's supposed to be the strong, silent one. You're supposed to be, I don't know, haven't figured you out yet, now that I think about it.
What do you want, Cade?
I want to talk about Amanda. Yeah, sure, she was a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day, but she was also the biggest pain in the ass I'd ever met. A gremlin of a kid. She tore the engine out of my Sparrow when she was 12. I was furious. Almost got her booted out of the tower till I noticed she disconnected everything clean. She'd been stealing tools, manuals, whatever she could get her hands on. She practiced on scrapped jump ships and junk Sparrows. Guess that says something about my ride. And boy, she was brilliant. I told Zavala, got her a job in the hangar, and I watched her grow up.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize, dummy. Just listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Amanda lived a damn good life exactly the way she wanted to. She went out being a hero. We don't all get to do that. Some of us make stupid choices and die stupid deaths.
Will you at least let me be sorry about that?
Shut up. Life ain't about drawing out the living part. It's about making what you do while you're alive matter. So grow a spine and make her proud.
Cade, you've known the commander a long time. You ever seen him like this?
Worst I ever saw Zavala was right after the Great Disaster. Didn't know the light could go out of an Awoken's eyes till then. But this is something else. He's scared. I've never seen him scared before, not like this. I understand the fear, I feel it too, but I don't know what he'll do with it.
Eris once told me fear is a knife. We can use it to hurt others or ourselves. But we also have the choice to sheath it.
Yeah. Well, maybe when we get over this mountain, we can make sure no one gets all stabby with their feelings. Got some taken popping up on my route. Y'all okay?
Nothing I can't handle. If you need me to come over and give you a hand, let me know.
Hey, now. Who put who on their back when we threw down?
Oh, come on. You caught me by surprise.
Oh, well, I guess we're even then.
Cade back. It's almost like he was never gone. Like the Traveler knew it needed to make the fire team whole again.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. It's real nice to see you all again, but Traveler could have asked before yanking a guy back to life.
Cade, I need to tell you something before we go any further. Meet me up ahead.
Oh, ominous and cryptic. My favorites. Yes, let's.
was that?
Oh, I felt it too, little guy. That's the Traveler. The witness is digging around in its guts.
It's screaming for help.
back up. Crow wants to talk about how wonderful it is that the Traveler brought me back. Like Ikora hasn't done enough of that already.
It wasn't the Traveler. It was me. I wished my way here on an Ahamkara.
On an Ahamkara? The dragon that twists wishes and dreams into waking nightmares? What the hell made you think that was a good idea?
We were out of options. I remember thinking that I wanted to do this because I had to make things right. And just before I took the plunge, I remember thinking about the Great Cade 6. No light, no ghost. Fearlessly staring up at me from the wrong side of his own gun. And there you were.
And there I was. No, you did the right thing keeping this between us. Ikora and Zavala can't know the truth. Not right now.
They need faith.
Right. And I need a drink. You go on, Guardian. We'll catch up. Vex are followers of the Witness. It's all divisive. The same zealots from the Black Garden.
I know all about the Black Garden. You sure you don't want to talk about why you're back?
The why doesn't matter. Never did. Just stay focused and clear a path up the mountain. Listen, Crow, right now, I just need to do something that feels normal, okay? And blasting Vex feels really, really normal.
Just know that the Traveler hasn't abandoned you, Cade. Even if you can't use the light is still part of you. I don't think my wish could have brought you back without it. You could be capable of things you don't even realize.
one of the first things my ghost Sundance said to me was that I was capable of greatness. You remind me of her a little.
In what way?
You're both a pain in my ass.
In charge of it.
Well, whatever you're doing, it's pissed off everything in the wall.
Get blasting, Guardian. We'll cover your back.
You almost sound like you're having fun.
Aren't you?
Vex are in retreat. Good work.
I'm picking up a massive new energy signature. Ghost, do you feel that?
I do. The Vex mine must have been obscuring it. It's this way.
Hey, before we meet back up with the others, I meant what I said about keeping this wish business between us.
I won't betray your trust, Cade.
I know, but I gotta say it out loud.
This is it. The energy signature is coming from over there. Past the cars where I found you. This is where I found your bones, Guardian. Where I brought you back for the first time. This is where everything started. There's an intense amount of light welling up from this fissure.
That light. That's what it used to be like here, pure and powerful. The golden feeling you get when you're holding a winning hand, just forever.
That power. Wait. Taken. We have taken incoming. Guardian, let's show them what the Traveler gave us. Energy. That wasn't just the light. That was the Traveler.
See, Cade? The Traveler's still with us, every step of the way.
Well, you weren't wrong, kid. You could just use a little tact. Guess I could too, for that matter. Maybe Ikora was right to try meditating. If we could cut through the noise...
You think we can open a line of communication with the Traveler?
Something like that. Listen, you and the Guardian go on ahead. I'll see what I can puzzle out.
This is a sign. Something's changed in the Guardian. New power. I can feel it.
The Traveler can give us all the weapons it wants. But without a plan on how to use them, we're as good as dead. Worse.
But we can't overlook the fact that it is helping us. Directly. It gave us Cade.
And it's not enough. When I was at my family's homestead, something reached out. A voice, a new voice, calling to me, trying to get my attention.
That wasn't your wife.
I know. It was a statue draped in a veil, a relic of the Witness.
What are you suggesting?
You've seen the Witness. You know what it wants to do to us. Maybe it's imprisoned others like that.
No. It's a trick, Zavala. The Witness is weaponizing your grief and desperation against you.
What do you know about grief and desperation? Except how to turn it off.
That's not fair.
Listen, Commander. Cade thinks we still might be able to get insight from the Traveler. Commune with it, like Ikora was trying to. The Guardian received a vision before. Maybe they will again. Cade's out there right now, looking for a way.
And when that fails...
The Traveler chose you, chose us. We were led here, shown where we first met, where you rose in the light. These new powers you've been able to harness since we arrived, they're growing stronger. You have too. The Traveler is empowering us to be its champion. Zavala may be dead set on striking at the Witness, but I think Ikora is right. We have to commune with the Traveler. We have to have faith. We have to have hope. We can't let the Witness pick us apart. The fire team needs you to anchor them, like we do for each other. Let's catch up with Cade and Crow and find a way to make contact.
Cade, he's not the same as he was before you.
Went out in a blaze of glory? Go ahead, you can say it. Wait. Did someone join our call?
Guardian, we were just discussing Zavala's crisis of faith. I know you feel it too. He's wandering.
Crisis? The man lives and breathes crisis, Ikora. He's having a hell of a week, but I mean, he's the commander.
Our friend is hurting. The Traveler restored our family, while the Witness dangles the family he lost in front of him. He needs something valid, a reason to believe.
Well, I know about that. Look, there's a good chance this bet doesn't pay out. I'm not looking to get into the false hope business.
All hope is false if we let it die. Please, Cade. We have to succeed. For me. For Zavala.
When you put it like that, how can I say no?
Crow, Cade, if you can read us, we're coming with you. What's the plan?
Those big cracks we've seen? Light's been spilling out of them like an open wound. I heard something in them up in the mountain. Noises, feelings. Hard to explain.
Cade thinks these cracks might be a vector we can use to reach out to the Traveler. Communicate with it, like Ikora was trying to.
How can we help?
When you were empowered by that fissure near our camp, it diminished. So we need to find more. Cade and I split up, doing some backtracking, but Glint said he felt a huge source of light somewhere near you.
I couldn't figure out where it was, but maybe you'll have better luck. It's gotta be tucked away somewhere deep.
Keep comms open. This place is screwy.
Affirmative. Good luck out there. I think we found something. Resonant imaging shows this cave goes pretty deep toward a concentration of light. We're going to check it out.
Roger Dodger. So far, nothing out here. But when I close my eyes, clear my head, Ikora said it was like she could hear the travelers screaming. I can feel it.
I know exactly what you mean. We found one of the fissures, but the light feels like it's being strangled by something. Held back.
The witness, tightening its grip on the traveler. Well, I ain't giving up yet. I'm gonna go check back around the Weirdo Tower, see what I can find up there.
I have another deep light telemetric for you, Ghost. It's a bit of a backtrack, but it's a strong signal.
Thanks, Glint. We'll check that one out next. The energy signature Glint detected is somewhere in this region, but there's no clear path. Let's see if we can find a route.
If we manage to connect with the Traveler, what would you ask it?
Besides how to help? Easy. I want my Sundance back. Ain't fair, I'm the only one who got a second chance. Wherever I was before that wish of yours pulled me out, she was there too.
Let's see if we can find a route.
If we manage to connect with the Traveler, what would you ask it?
Besides how to help? Easy. I want my Sundance back. It ain't fair, I'm the only one who got a second chance. Wherever I was before that wish of yours pulled me out, she was there too.
I think we found a passage down to the coordinates you sent, Glint. Going in now.
Be careful.
There's nothing down there the Guardian can't handle. Now, you ghosts are always so worried about us, but never for yourselves. Nobody can put you back together, is there?
Lucent Hive. There's Lucent Hive down here.
Whoa, no, hold up. You told me Sabathun's glitterbugs weren't working for the Witness.
They aren't. I don't know how they even got here.
found the source of the light emissions, but it's being restrained like the others. I don't think it's what we need.
Well, you know what they say. Third time's the charm.
You heard him, Guardian. Glint has one more telemetric we can check.
And if the witness has corrupted that one too?
Hey now, no spiraling into despair. We don't have that kind of luxury. Let's rendezvous at Glint's coordinates, figure out what to do when we get there.